Xiao Tian finally realized his dream of living a life with two empresses by his side. Although he achieved the life he had longed for, the excessive activity took a toll on his body. Every day, he had to eat supplements to cope with the strain on his body. However, this fulfilled his long-standing wish. Unaware to him, the Blood Rune clan he defeated was preparing to send a second team to investigate the situation in the Holy Demon Realm. Danger was looming. While Xiao Tian enjoyed breakfast with the empresses by his side, in the dark void, the massive void warship remained suspended. Deputy Commander Zhang Zhuo approached Commander Zhang Wushuang and asked, "Commander, it's been 3 days, and there's still no news from Zhang Yisan's team in the Holy Demon Realm. Could something have happened to them?" Zhang Wushuang shook her head and replied, "Don't you understand why I sent 10 teams down there?" Zhang Zhuo answered, "Because that team had the weakest strength and was less likely to be detected." Zhang Wushuang sighed, patted Zhang Zhuo's shoulder, and said, "I've told you to pay more attention to these reserve members. Zhang Yisan, this junior, is cautious and meticulous. He probably closed the communication aura to avoid detection." Zhang Zhuo's eyes brightened. "I checked earlier, and the communication array on the shuttle was indeed closed." Zhang Wushuang said, "So, don't be impatient. There's something you can learn from Zhang Yisan's carefulness. Wait a few more days, he will contact me on his own. Maybe he'll return directly to the ship to report good news." 10 days later, Zhang Wushuang still stood on the deck with her hands behind her back. Zhang Zhuo expressed his concern, "It's been 10 days. Zhang Yisan hasn't contacted us yet, and the communication array is still closed. Could something have happened?" Zhang Wushuang shook her head, signaling him not to be too anxious. "Don't forget, he has the blood ignition crystal on him. If something happened, we would have sensed it by now." Zhang Zhuo, scratching his head, was puzzled. "But why haven't we received any news after such a long time?" Zhang Wushuang frowned, staring at Zhang Zhuo and admonishing, "You've been with me for a long time. Don't be too hasty." Zhang Wushuang pointed towards the Holy Demon Realm and said, "Zhang Yisan is deep in the enemy's territory, accompanied by many unknown risks. We should trust him." Zhang Zhuo opened his mouth but had nothing to say. Internally, he thought, "But it's been 10 days, shouldn't he report some news?" Zhang Wushuang continued, 10 days without communication shows how calm and composed Zhang Yisan is. You should learn from him." Hearing this, Zhang Zhuo was speechless, wondering where Commander Zhang Wushuang got such confidence. Zhang Wushuang sighed, "The situation is more complicated than you or I imagine. Zhang Yisan is likely treading on thin ice." She stopped Zhang Zhuo and said, "What we need to do now is believe in him. Zhang Yisan might have infiltrated the core area of the Holy Demon Realm, waiting to uncover the secrets of Lord Luotang, the Holy Demon Emperor." Zhang Zhuo marveled at Zhang Yisan's stability. "You're really holding it together, Zhang Yisan. Look at how the boss appreciates you. If you keep it up, you'll make it big, little brother." A month later, Zhang Wushuang, devoid of her previous confidence, stared at the communication array. The display showed that the communication array on Zhang Yisan's warship shuttle was still in a closed state. Zhang Zhuo approached Zhang Wushuang and said, "It's been so long. Zhang Yisan wouldn't betray us, would he?" Zhang Wushuang roared angrily, "Impossible. Absolutely impossible." Zhang Zhuo turned to Zhang Wushuang, a hint of helplessness in his tone, "But it's been a month." Zhang Wushuang waved her hand, dismissing the possibility. Zhang Zhuo grabbed Zhang Wushuang's shoulder, looking earnestly into her eyes. "Either Zhang Yisan has betrayed us, or something has happened to him." Faced with Zhang Zhuo's gaze, Zhang Wushuang reluctantly admitted this possibility. She had indeed made a mistake. Zhang Wushuang instructed Zhang Zhuo, "Take your second team and Team 5 to the Holy Demon Realm to assess the situation. Be cautious and don't act recklessly." Zhang Wushuang emphasized, "Remember to be prudent. Don't be impulsive." Zhang Zhuo assured her, "Boss, rest assured. I promise to complete the mission splendidly." After a while, Zhang Wushuang, hands behind her back, gazed into the distance at the dark void. 2 warship shuttles departed from the void. They left the dark void, heading towards the holy demon realm.